So this is the Dilbert board game, and I'm going to go over a rather quick version of basically how you play. So all the parts, there's a lot of things to go over. So there is a sheet, a rule book, which gives you everything. This on the back is the office roll chart. So when you go through, you're trying to win the game by getting the most happiness points. The happiness chart on the board starts at 0 and then moves over positively or negatively around the exterior of the board. So everyone starts at the 0 spot except for the boss, and he starts up at the 27 plus. Every turn, each person going counterclockwise will play. They will do a round of play where they draw a memo card, move a piece, and then any items that they want to do based on all of the rules of each individual card. After all the players have done it, then the boss will play his turn where he checks all the project cards and removes happiness from people, and then moves himself down in 3 happiness increments. The game is won when a player has the most happiness points after the boss's turn is finished, and where the boss is less than or equal to any employee on the happiness chart. In order to do this, it's a good way to start off with all of these employee cards. It's important to remember that there's an employee can be referenced, and the player, the physical person, can be referenced in a lot of the cards. And there's a difference as to how the rules of the card are applied on it. Every player has motivational and characteristics that are very important to the game and allow each player to play their employee differently than the other ones. We have the consultant cards, we also have the memo cards, and we have the project cards. We also have the characters, which can go inside of a room or can be moving around the corridors. We have the walls, and we have the doors that are entryways to the rooms. The point of the game is, as you have a round of play, you're going to draw a memo card, and after that point, every other person can play their memo cards against you if they so are available. You move your piece based on your motivation, which you can walk or declare to run. Walking is simply your motivation number. Running is declaring that you're going to run and then rolling the dice and then doing your motivation number in addition to whatever you roll. If you roll a 6, you go to heck, and then you have to be knocked down. You move your piece. You cannot move in diagonals on the board. Offices count as 1 space. If you're knocked down, it takes 2 motivation to get back up on the next turn. And unlimited employees can be in a room except in the bathrooms. There can only have 1 employee at a time, and they must be the same sex that they're listed on the card. You can, when you end up in an office, you have to do, you can take a red stone and place it on any of the signatures on a project that is active, even if you're not assigned to it. If all of the red stones fill all of the signatures on a project, if you place the last one, you get 2 happiness points for killing that project, even if you're not in the project itself. The boss's turn, he will check all the projects, make sure everyone who is assigned negative points gets the happiness points taken off and move them appropriately, and then he moves down 3 points every turn. The projects, you only have as many project cards available as you have people playing the game, up to 6. You also have the next project card is turned up so everyone can see it and plan accordingly. You assign them by the definitions on the card as to who goes on there, or if there is no one, if a player is already assigned to all the projects and has none of their player cards available, then you go to the next available person based on the criteria. There's also Todd, who can be assigned due to some of the cards. You may have nobody assigned to a project depending on what happens, or you may have the same character assigned The same employee assigned on the same project is a possibility. The consultant cards, when one gets flipped over, it will stay there until someone goes into the conference room and ends their turn there and has to roll in order to change the card, and then you look back at the office rolls to figure out how to do that. The memo cards, each player keeps memo cards but can have no more than 5 in their hand. You have to discard before playing any of them if you get more than 5. The memo cards cannot be played on any employee in the bathrooms, and it will not affect an employee even if you're the person, even if you play your card on yourself while you're in the bathroom. Happiness points will never be more than 27 or less than 27, and 1 employee in a bathroom at a time, and the owner of the game will resolve any disputes that any has. This is a really fun game and goes by, I'd say it takes about 2 hours to play, depending on how many players you have and how familiar everyone is with the rules. There's also this stuff on the side, the cubicles, where you set them up and these points get added at the very end to figure out, once you wind up here, you change your score associated with these, and that's the only time they really get put in. Most of the stuff, though, you have to read everything very carefully because there are a lot of ways to change all the rules and affect things, especially inside of the people's characteristics and the memo cards. Have fun, and thank you.